Hello, everyone. My fans, for those who watched my previous email and bought those stock I recommended, you should be in a very well position right now. So I just want to specifically go over some of the stock that I mentioned before and told you where they are at and how I'm looking at for the July prospect of how things and stock going to move. First one is a Colorful Crop CCL. It has gone up significantly after being an upgrade. For long one, it's still a great stock to hold from where you might have bought around $11 level. I mean, if you for short term, I think it's another 10%, so which would be 20-ish. You will want to probably sell for a profit for now. But for the long time range, just to remind you that this is how you was looking at if there's no pandemic for cruise line and airline and travel and hotel industry, probably the stock will be higher than even in 5 years ago. So if you look at the stock by 2019, so 2018, the stock actually were at 57, 55. I mean, this is really not the highest point. The highest price is over $60, and it was at sort of $6, so which is really from just similar to the high, most of the high stock or growth stock, they crashed from the highest point to the lowest one, like 90% discounted, right? So that was the time, of course, a lot of people now you fear to buy the stock. Non-analysts were recommended to buy CCL. But if you have heard my video since the day one and following through, I've always talked about CCL is the one quick buy. So it seems to have some rebound with the new strategy and things that they're going to restructuring on focusing on the fundamentals and financials. So this stock to me is not surprising if you would go back up to even $30, right? Which will be another 50% increase from today. Because again, it's a $60 crash, and look at the valuation of where they're at. The next stock, which I also mentioned, if you have bought it, you will get 35% return in a week, which is XPEV. They just announced Friday that they were competing with, which is the best in the industry, EV stock Tesla, and they came with a new SUV at slightly under 29,000 US dollars per each. So which is actually beating the new model that Tesla is selling for the price of 29-ish. So with that, also their sales have grown up and better than the forecast. You can make the argument that, I mean, they really made the forecast really low because of pandemic or whatnot, but really the stock have looking at the trend again, which is from a long perspective in the past. I mean, they were actually at $64 at one point. So, and then the IPO stock again, I reminded you that at $17 that we started. So if you think about where they're at now, it wouldn't surprise you to go back to $20. We're slightly higher than the IPO price. Again, in 2025 beyond, I'm looking at this stock as a long-term opportunity, holding off for the EV that's going to be actually make a big hero, you know, as most of the gasoline stock going to be replaced by electronic vehicle, and there's some, you know, there are several reasons for that, right? Economic reason, also environmental reason. So also, I mean, you look at, I'm not showing a Tesla stock with as well, but you continue with the momentum, which I talk about Tesla. Around $130 and even go back up to $180 is still a good choice to buy. And obviously they have gone up very significant, $260 in a week or so. We're given that, you know, the pricing strategy, again, in my opinion, they are taking Chinese market as testing there and proving it will succeed. So they continue to put in their strategy into the US market, and they seem to be very successful. The story was well made. So then, you know, you're really making stock going very strong right now. And sales in China also, of course, beating the estimate as expected to turn around in the latest announcement. So for the long run, I also believe that the reason why Tesla is going to hold and stronger, because I look forward to them creating a cheaper vehicle to gain a market share, which is now they're doing it. And also, you eventually will come up with a longer lasting battery to make the longer distance travel. That will become a fundamental change to the EV industry. So this is just something waiting to be breakthrough, but if it happens, it'll be really big, and the announcement will be big, and the stock will continue to be growing, because this is again just the #1 EV industry in the world right now. And that, having said that, also that makes Elon Musk the richest man in the world, right? So next one on the high tech space, where, you know, people talk about ChatGPT, which is going to be the future. was really the IG company that I recommended. So this stock again, it is even more remarkable when you look at the high tech stock and growth stock. They're at $1,150, which is not really long ago, a year or so ago, and now and dropped as low as $10, which is really, I mean, it's not even 10%. It's only 7% from the highest peak of evaluations. The stock have obviously rebounded the last 2 months after the ChatGPT was introduced or announced in the marketplace, and saying that's going to be the future. This is going to be another great innovation that will change people's life. Of course, remember, Wall Street is a forward-looking, right? So they don't care about the past; they look in the futures. So this is going to add to my portfolio that I'm buying for a long term, which will be holding off. I don't know. I'm thinking $100, but not going to happen this year. Not going to happen next year, but probably two or 3 years from now. This stock going to have a really great opportunity. And then you all probably heard about the C3 AI company now, as they're doing some sort of marketing as well in the US market. So, and besides that, I still recommend robots, right? I still believe robots. Looking forward to them to transform themselves into profitability. That will currently, if you look at range of robots, set around $38 to $44 range. The market closed about 40, 45 at Friday, so that's a possibility very easy 10% right there. So again, this is not too late to hold, but some stuff to go look on. I still believing. I mean, check them out. Something is going to come true that Microsoft can buy them out, just like Minecraft. So when they bought them, I would think the market they buying them out at least $70 to $100 possibly. Actually, Roblox was at 1.1 like that. So again, it's just aligned in parallel with the C3, just make a mention about. And another stock to compare with CCL, which is also I have talked about in my video a lot, and really a 30-ish, 40-ish dollars. I still say it's a great buy. It's United Airlines with travel season and 4th of July and all this good stuff, right? Prices have continued to be momentumly strong and going up. So this stock again, pre-pandemic at $92, which I've said so many times in my video. And you dropped it to ridiculously low price. I mean, because people were worried about why pandemic continue to last, this company going to wipe out and basically bankruptcy. So the stock have been rebounded with new strategies, right? And another time, even though you say aviation pricing go up, but then also the more customers, so they were easily going to beat their forecast this year, and also outlook will restructure the outlook for the futures. You can see the really airline ticket is actually gone up, right? Especially during the holiday season time. So just think through, this will be another opportunity. I look to $60 or higher in a really short period of time. And other stock that I will also think through to tell you to be on watch list. If you like Chinese stock, again, PDD Pinduoduo will be the one. At high $102, drop it to as low as $22 within a year. It's really high rate of variability, but it's currently 69, and I'm looking forward to put it back to $80 level at least. And that HYLN, the one I talk about, I'm holding for long-term positions, but if you sold it at $1.60, then $1.60 or $65, $1.50, $60 time will be the watch list time for you to buy them back, and then maybe when the earnings season come again in July, you're gonna push it back, and this time you'll be over $2, gonna be over $2.50 range. You just from an analytical perspective, from a historical trend, how you move. And PayPal also have been very disappointing because of cryptocurrency. They're dragging them down so bad. But you look at the balance sheet, look at the pre-pandemic prices, whether the growth and where they are at today, you probably have some opportunities there as well. Pinduoduo, just to mention that a lot of Chinese stock, Alibaba, Tencent, the PE ratio have been very attractive, around 15. So versus historically, we're at 30 or 25. So it's really at a pretty good position to be holding them. If you believe in the Chinese market, of course, we're looking at the political risk is always outweighing the performance of business performance and growth, the revenue side. But at the same time, U.S. is going to have a talk with the Chinese government about the trade talk and whatnot, which hopefully, because the presidential election is coming, so they want to get the Chinese people for them about popular to look into they're doing the right decision where things going to grow up the global market and the harmony of mutual, cooperations among the world. So hopefully this stock will be taking off and also will go up because of that atmosphere and environment. The last one, but not least, when talk about bowling. Bowling have been fluctuating between $200 to $220 range. So if they have a 211 right now, so if they drop back a little bit, to 205 one day or 200, it may be a good time to consider buying them. I'm not saying they're not going to go back to $180, which is 10% strength of $200, but they also have an upstream potential as well, 10%. I'm looking forward to the future that this stock again pre-pandemic as strong as $400 plus. And I still think Boeing is a really great company. I mean, the airline industry is very specific, making these type and also defense, So it's really talking about. The last one we're talking about is Apple. Apple has just reached the $3 trillion mark again. Apple is on track to generate $400 billion in annual revenue and $100 billion in annual profit. So just to look at it, if the Apple Airport annual revenue alone and scrap it out and stand alone, it probably will make it Fortune 500. And I would like to show you why I think July will be the time to really pushing the market higher. And you can always see the momentum start to build up, and a lot of high-tech companies already ranked up later than last week or so. So this is a statistic for Nasdaq Index. For 2022, last year, you can see that from July 15, when I'm more towards the end of June and look at the month of July, how was its performance, the trend on Nasdaq is very steady, grow up to actually August 15 or so. And 2021 was the same, but then the week of July, they went probably some companies didn't announcing earnings as quick as it was expected. And of course, high-tech was at that point was very high already, so there's some warning about that. So then that kind of dip, but then obviously they're offset by other positive news in the market and on the July earning announcement. So they drove the market actually up right up to August 12th. And then the other thing is also 2020, similar pattern. If you started from June and track it all the way, it's really consistently overall is all uptrend until August 15 and so. And 2019 was an exception. So the market actually from June to July also is actually up. This is a little harder to see, but it's still overall is still up, but it really only up to end of July. In this case, not extended to August 12, 15 that the other years I show you. In fact, the first week of August have been very steep of sloping down. You can see a steep down there. So I still thinking if you're watching the market and you take advantage of it, July is the month. And if you look at short term, you can probably want to walk and then take the profit, right? And then we'll just wait for August and see how it stamp up again. And then it's 2017, I skip at 2018 and just go back a little further that. It's the same trend from the end of June. If you track it all the way to August 12th, it's still up. After that, you have a dip, and then it's kind of stabilizing around August, around the timeline, which is around 11, August 11 and index timeline. Same thing, very quickly show S&P 500 index also put together, same pattern. And you look at this S&P 500 is more better representative of how the market were behaving and performing because the 500 best performing stock all grouped together. So you can see that in June kind of in the end of June, and you still that you steadily going up. Of course, they're always up and down during the days, right? But and also only taking the closing of the day as the index point. So between the day itself it can up and down. This closing day may not be the highest of the day of highest point of the day. Just bear that in mind. Sometimes you hit it, but you retreating and pulling back at the last hour. You can see that in the last hour, it's always a lot of critical thing happening to drive the market up and down. And also the post-market for first hour, you also see very critical that people trade after that to driving the news that after some people cannot buy the stock anymore and they post earning of the market close. So it's driving the market overall also up in 2022, 2021 was the same. You can see the deep again that week of the 15th and 21st, but don't get panicked and then you try after that you got rebound and drive all the way up again August 12th. And same thing 2022. 2023 compared to 2022, similar kind of pattern. It was starting from the end of June and then all pick it up bullish and keep going up all the way upward swing. 2019 was the same. It's going all the way up to end of July, and then for the first of August, just like the index, NASDAQ, it was actually for the first week was significantly pulled back and then kind of rebounding and then pull back again and then kind of stabilizing around the month of August. All I'm trying to show you just to persuade to you that in the month of July, in historical view, the last 5 years in particular, is always will be bullish and going up, and the index has gone up about 5 to 10%, but that's just index. So individual stock can drive actually much heavier than that. I hope you like my video and you will look at the position to drive in. Let me know if any questions, and hopefully you're going to be able to make some short-term gains from now till end of July and possibly mid-August. Thank you very much.